Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I am back. Um, I know we've been doing a little bit of variety content here on the channel, but the past, I don't know, week or two, also the streams have been way more inconsistent. I do plan to pick up these streams the next 4.5 days leading into the live event. And obviously going into chapter 7, I would like to make a lot of content on, whatever's new. Um, but I'm here today, alright? We got a Fortnite, just chill and stream, not too much to say about that. Um, but yeah. But let's see. I'm just making sure everything is working good. Alright, I'm ready. Let's play some games. By games, I mean matches of Fortnite Battle, Zero Build Battle Royale. Um, friends, looks like there's a lot of people that are on that typically aren't on, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, that's nice to know that there are people are getting back into the game, ready for Chapter 7. But I don't think they'll play with me, even though I used to play with them all the time. Like, Pierre and Daniel, I don't think they'll play. I also hate rejection, so I'm not even gonna bother sending them an invite. Um, Everyone else doesn't seem to be doing too much, so fair enough. Um, what's changed in the last few days? Oh yeah, the Fortnite short came out this morning about fucking right, Homer's gonna, it was basically just setting up the live event, how Homer's gonna help Jones and Hope fight off the Dark Presence. We still don't know how all these old collabs kind of come back. I'm assuming maybe that they just summon them in the event itself. I don't know. Um, Winter Rush, there's a free skin, and you have to play with friends, playing different modes in the game. I have I've done them all except for the combat one. I was playing Tilted Zone Wars trying to get that done, but then I think my thing lagged out at some point, so none of the XP I got actually got saved towards the challenge, which is just lovely. So now that I'm thinking about that, I might go do that first, and then we go play some Battle Royale. So the mode that I was playing was Tilted Zone Wars, because the pre-game lobby actually does give pretty good XP when you're waiting for each round. So I'll just kill my little alt account. GJ's playing the Game Award. Oh, right, the Game Awards voting thing. I might hop on that at some point and vote for my favorite map that will then go into the Game Awards, and see what map did the best. Like vote for the best map, I guess. Squat up and clear targets in the arena. Was that a thing before? I mean, this map's been out for years, assuming they just take the same map and just add more to it and just repopulate it with by like marketing and all that. But yeah, I'd assume it's probably just like Steal a Brain Rot's probably on there, unfortunately, so I'll probably have to just vote for whatever's not Steal the Brain Rot. Steal a Brain Rot, because Roblox version Steal the Brain Rot, Fortnite version Steal a Brain Rot. I usually just call it Steal the Brain Rot because I can't be asked. This time I actually gotta get the Squid Game bundle. I keep saying I'm gonna get it and then I never get it, but like I actually do want to get it. Oh, don't mind the game chat, JBL, we need to talk. I was, playing Ballistic and someone was AFK. So I was like, we need to talk, because they weren't... Did I win that game? No, I didn't. I didn't win that game. I won the next game after that, right? And now I'm in, like, champion. These maps are so simple and they get so many players. Surely the alt loads in. Surely. What maps does Pretty Boy make? Cause I forget. I've played like some of his other maps. Did he make Criminal Tycoon? I don't know. I don't remember. Miku? Oh my god, I was gonna talk to you about that. Hello, Lena, welcome to the stream. I was playing Ballistic with Croc Boy all day, and then he got off, and Angel played a couple games of Ballistic, and she was actually around for my rank up game. I'm currently in champion for Ballistic. I've been grinding the fuck out of it, and my rank up game, there were two Hatsune Miku's. And it's not the like the normal like the item shop Hatsune Miku, but it's like the Hatsune Miku that we always see playing Ballistic. Um, um, I did absolutely well that game. I had the most amount of kills, but I had just a little bit more damage than the one Hatsune Miku, but the other Hatsune Miku had more damage, so they ended up being, and like a few more assists, so they ended up becoming MVP. Thankfully, even though me being second best was enough to get the percent I need to rank up. But yes, there were two Hatsune Mikus, and I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty good. I'll give them the credit that they deserve. They were pretty good. And my game just crashed. Yeah, alright, nice. So there was no point of me doing that. Nice. I'll have to play a little bit more of a simplified map, maybe. Thankfully, I have just the map, and I used to play this map all the time back in the good old days. Surely I haven't favorited, right? Like, I played that map so much. That's funny. Where's Crazy Red versus... Okay, I'll just search it up. Crazy... I was crazy once. There it is. Crazy Red versus Blue. Back in my day, Crazy Red versus Blue used to get 100k players on peak each day during Fortnite OG. But now it barely reaches 10k on peak daytimes. It's okay though. Yeah, fucking. I felt like I was reliving everything again. But except that, it was double trouble because it was like two different ones. They were using one was using the bright style and the other one was just using the normal style. But same skin. System UI isn't responding. I didn't ask. Both Neku Yes. In Ballistic. I was playing with it was the last game of Ballistic I played, which was my rank up game, and I played it with Angel actually. And I was slightly better than the one, but then the second one was the MVP and was better than me. Even though I popped the fuck off that game, I deserved to be MVP. I had the most kills, I clutched up the most rounds, but she did the most damage and had the most assists, so got the MVP for that. Sadly, thankfully, being second was enough. Um, Being second best was enough to get the percent I needed to rank up to champion. So I'm currently champion 20%, I believe. So nonetheless, a great fucking game, but you know, Oh! Wait, that's actually so cool. It actually gives like modular symbols for like all the guns that use mods. That's awesome. I like that. See, my question is, do they have like the non-modular versions of these exact guns, like these exact models too? Because if they do, then they could be hit scan, but unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. Because like there's a non-modular, um, I almost said twin fire, frenzy auto, and like obviously a non-modular striker AR, but like the new version or whatever. My alt still hasn't loaded in. I think it's gonna crash. It would have loaded in by now. So I am just gonna free build, because like the thing is, right? I can't get XP for the creator made island thing unless they're in the game with me. So we free build till the game crashes, I guess. Is it like, my question is it just frozen, or is it like, it's not frozen because the connecting thing's still moving. It's just not going anywhere. Yeah, fair enough. I wonder if it's trying to load in, but then me building is like stopping it from loading in. That'd be kind of funny, actually. I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't care. Yeah, it crashed. It's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna have to do it with like an actual living, breathing person. Um, another day. Which I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I was probably gonna go do it anyway to help out other people get the stupid challenges, so it's not a big deal to me at all. What I will do is vote for the best map of the year. Last year, I believe the Guess Who map won best Fortnite map in Game Awards. I believe it was like the Guess Who Fortnite map. I'm not. I'm assuming it wouldn't be on this one, right? It'd be the new maps that came out. And when I think of new maps, I think of Steal the Brain Rot. So I'm hoping that's not there, but it probably is. Which sucks, because it's like it uses AI thumbnails. I'm pretty sure that the thumbnails are AI. At least that's what everyone was saying, so I'm kind of just jumping on the bandwagon. I don't know for sure. Oh my god, it actually isn't. It isn't. Oh, I got scared. I got scared that it was...
Jeff Keighley here, and welcome to the Game Awards vote in Fortnite 2025. It's your chance to decide the UEFN Island of the Year. But your vote is just the beginning. A mysterious anomaly has appeared on the island, concealing a Game Awards exclusive reveal. Your mission? Power the nodes alongside your friends.
Deadpool.
Game Awards news to life. Vote, explore, and power.
I'll never forget. I'm never gonna forget Jeff Keighley.
The big moment in December.
Deadpool. Oh wait, what the hell? What's going on with my camera? Is it supposed to be like this? I mean, I can move the camera around, like, however, and then it just, like, spin, you know? We spin. Oh my god, it is. It is. Oh, please. It's gonna win. It had like over 700,000 people playing it at like 7 in the morning, like last weekend or whatever. Oh my, it's gonna win, but like, what maps have I played here? Queso Late Shift, really? Boom Tycoon. The only one I've played here, besides Steal the Brain Rot, is Genesis Squid Game. Yeah, we're voting for this. We're voting for this. There was no need for all of that. There was no need for them to do that. Wait, can I vote again? Vote already recorded. Alright. I'm out of here. I'll be back on that map in approximately 12 months from now for the next year's selection of Fortnite maps that drop. Damn, 20 minutes, I haven't even played a proper game yet. That's crazy. Nothing burger. Nothing burger. Wait. Delulu, 2 days, 10 hours, 8 minutes. Why? Usually, this 2 would be a 3 because it'd be like. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, Delulu's coming out on. Delulu's coming out on Thursday this week. They're doing it a day early. I wonder why that's the case. Maybe what they'll do is they'll like remove Delulu for Sunday, and they won't have Delulu as a playable mode like the first day of the new season or whatever. Or second day, I suppose. First full day, depending on if the servers go back up later on Saturday. Interesting, though. Count the pixels? No, thank you. I'm not doing that. No way, Jose. I might play Ballistic in a bit. I don't know. Depends on how my mood is. Lately when I play Ballistic, I do fucking terrible on stream. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna play like maybe 1 or 2 Ballistic games, and if I'm like actually doing okay, I'll keep playing. And if I'm not doing okay, then uh, I'm getting out while I'm still ahead. Well, I won't be ahead at that point. I will have gone down in percent, but it's so low quality. It is. I don't know why that's the case. Is it like that for the other epic modes? Hold on, let me test that. What? Oh. It's literally only Delulu that it's like that. The crazy part is I don't think it was like that when it first came out. When Delulu had a different thumbnail in chapter 6 season 4, um I'm pretty sure the thumbnail was high quality. That's Okay, now I gotta test that. Even Save the World has a high quality. It's literally. Wait. This one isn't super high. It's not the craziest quality, but that's because it's a creative map. But Epic Games just licensed it, I guess. But it's made by Epic Labs. Yeah. My alt got in the game, but I didn't. That's just great. Love that. You know what sucks? That's gonna give me Q bug. I'm gonna get Q bug because of that. The fact that I'm still readied up while my alt's in the game. I'll just restart the game actually on both because I already know my alt's not getting in this game. It's just stuck on the loading screen. I'm not an idiot. I know what's gonna happen. So I'm closing the game. I'm relaunching it. Maybe by the 30-minute mark I'll get in a Fortnite game. How does that sound? They just did not care when they slapped that on there. They did not. If by the 30-minute mark I can't get in the game, I'm gonna play Rocket League. And then get on Fortnite later. I did not know that if you buy any of those games, you get that spark plug skin. I mean, those games are super pricey, so no fucking chance. Maybe by the 30-minute mark you'll play Silk Song. On my dad's soul, I'm not doing that. You know what's a great game? Chat. You know what? You know what? You know what game I need to. You know what game I need to play that I said I've been gonna play for years, and I had it installed because it was a free game on the Epic Game Store. You know what's a game I gotta play during downtime? I know a game I'm playing during downtime on Saturday. Doki Doki Literature Club. That's what I'm playing. That is what I will be playing. I don't know how long it takes to play that game, but I'll at least start it. See if it's a game I like. That's like the perfect game to play during downtime. That's if I'm not playing like Fall Guys or something with anyone. Usually like the downtime game to play, like especially when it comes to like new chapters I've noticed, is always Fall Guys. So like there's a good chance I might be playing that, but like if I'm not playing with friends, I'm playing Doki Doki Literature Club. I've never actually seen someone play that. Fair. Don't do that. That's the wrong sky. Do not. Do not. I did that once. And then Nick kind of, Oh, he got... Fair enough. Alright. 28 minutes. Do I get in the game by the 30-minute mark? Doki Doki Literature Club is a game I want to play on stream. It's not a game I'd play off stream. It folds. I like to see wiggle wiggle for sure. Ah, I was gonna mimic it, but then... Oh, another chapter. Sure. I guess. It's so bad that it's so famous. Everyone knows what happens now. Everyone. Shit. Is there like some super secret group chat that the entire world made and they just didn't invite me? Because I know nothing about what happens in Doki Doki Literature Club. And fuck, I watched SMG4. And one of the like the major characters in that was from Doki Doki Literature Club. And I don't know I know fuck all of what happens in that. Can only imagine. Clone, 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 clone. I gotta show you guys that Fortnite short that came out today. It's so there's one part that's just kind of it's funny. I can't even lie. Like Marge tells fucking Hope like you don't really have any friends, do you? Or something like that. And then Jones is like, "Oh, of course she does." And then he's like, it's so funny, bro. It's and she starts smiling and shit. This is you really think about it, she doesn't. I mean, Jones is her father figure. Um, Kendo is her boyfriend. Um, Supernovas are just her students. Um, the other collab like people that are like helping out during the fight, those are just her allies. She doesn't really have any like friends. Oh, the group chat? I guess. You know, usually if you're not aware of a group chat, usually that exists and you're just not in it, you know? The global Doki Doki Literature Club group chat that I'm just not a part of, and I don't know what happens in the end of the game. I don't know anything about that game. Besides the fact that you get like a anime girlfriend or something. Actually, I'm not even 100% sure that that's exactly what happens. But fuck. You're lucky then? Yeah. I seem to avoid spoilers for a lot of games. No, I wouldn't say it's because I'm lucky, I'd say it's because I'm no, never mind. Yeah, I'd say it's because I'm lucky. I wasn't going around watching people play like anime video games. I was fucking watching like GTA 5 funny moments and shit like that. Last of a dying breed. I'm sure I could find someone. I can think of a couple people that wouldn't know the ending of that game. Like Croc Boy. I'm not gonna lie, he doesn't seem like he'd be someone who'd know the end of Doki Doki Literature Club. Um, Pierre. Pierre might know. No. Nova wouldn't know. Nova wouldn't know. Nova wouldn't know the ending of Doki Doki Literature Club. Nick? Nick also wouldn't know what, the fuck Doki Doki Literature Club. He wouldn't even know what it is. Um... Tyler? I wouldn't rule it out with Tyler. I would say chances are he doesn't know, but I wouldn't rule it out. Um... Um... Dom knows. He probably knows. He would know. I don't really fuck with anyone. I mean, like, but obviously you. I don't really fuck with anyone else. Um, to be fair, GJ would probably know. Lex would probably know. You don't have to be into it to know. I'm telling you, all the people that I said wouldn't know, they wouldn't know. I'm confident about that. You're not supposed to be here? I mean, I'm the looper. I'm a looper. I kind of am supposed to be here. Um... Am I supposed to be in Springfield Island? I mean... At this point, I'd say yes, but if you'd asked me, like, 3 weeks ago, I probably would have said no. But, you know, now... I mean, obviously, you have no recollection of me killing you. the past, I don't know, 100, 200 times, but that's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not. Well, actually, it's Homer's fault. It's not evil Homer's fault. You have to talk to people who use the internet. Okay. I'm not. I'm not taking the dragon's breath. I'd be a sicko if I took the dragon's breath over attack. And they're both mythic. You know what? Fuck it.
It's that team up Jebediah Springfield.
I haven't taken this thing probably since day one of the new season. Seriously, but I think this chug jug can last me, so why not? Wait, so did the island and Springfield get merged or like have a kid? The island and Springfield, they're not merged. Well, I mean, it's not that the Chapter 6 map and Springfield merged. Basically, what happened is Springfield, a brand new reality was created when they were messing with the UFO. Hope and those alien dudes, whatever the fuck their name is. Basically, what happened is they created a brand new reality and that new reality is a merged Springfield and like a battle royale island, not necessarily Chapter 6 island, because obviously this has no correlation to Chapter 6 except for the lore, and well, we'll be going back to Chapter 6 at the end of the. That's why I feel like I'd go as far to say that this is part of Chapter 6, but I feel like Chapter 2 Remix and obviously Chapter 1 OG from 2023, I feel like those two seasons were its own separate thing. But I'm starting to lean in more into saying, and I would say that this is a Chapter 6 season, because we are going to Chapter 6, technically, at the final day, you know, for the live event. So it feels more like tied to Chapter 6. If we're talking, but this current map that we're playing on right now, it isn't tied to Chapter. Well, it's not tied to Oni Oshima. It's just a merged battle royale type esque island with like a loop and stuff, merged with Springfield. That is what it is, actually. But they created a new reality. Like, obviously, the Springfield reality still exists, and obviously Onioshima still exists as well, which is the Chapter 6 map. So they had a kid. I guess you could say they had a kid, and it just got all this. It got more so of the Springfield genes. What island did it merge with then? I wouldn't say it merged with any island. I'd just say that. I'd just say that it merged with the philosophy and the genetic code of Battle Royale and the loop and stuff like that. So it created like like an island where people would, you know, duke it out to be the last one standing. Anyway, I would like to show you guys something. Oh, this is new. I haven't seen this. Like, it's camera crash and gonna go crazy. We brought some friends to help prep for chapter 7. I don't know who these people are. Like, I'm sorry. I think that I think that lady, that first lady might be like the Kill Bill person. Other than that, I don't know who these people are. But like, sure, I guess go crazy, pop off, King. Um. Oh wait, this is the Lisa. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this. This is the Lisa trailer for because Lisa's the new headliner. Also, have no fucking idea who she is, but I will listen to some of her music leading up to this just so I get a general idea. Maybe she's cool. No audio trailer. Bang! Maybe they have like a proper trailer or no, this is just a teaser trailer. They don't have like a loud loud like Lloyd loud. I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is. But okay. Like I guess. Here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is.
Although this scanner wasn't pretty sure the 0 point shard is in his stomach. Although this
Yeah,
scanner
no
wasn't
shit.
built to see through ultra fat.
Oh, my poor homie. I'm so afraid for him. Is there anything we can do?
Absolutely. We can vaporize his motor cortex, rendering him immobile, then extract the shard with a strike team through the lower bowel.
You don't have a lot of friends, do you?
Ah, sure she does.
I'm sorry. We
It's
need that shard back now. if
it's
we're going
so
to return to the
funny.
island and defeat the demon master.
God, I love exposition. My husband is a good man at any size. I'm sure I can convince him to do the right thing.
No time.
Tell you what, let's try Marge's way.
It's so dumb. All this is just random stuff. The only thing that's new is I guess we're getting like it doesn't show any new gameplay or anything from this. It's just random stupid shit.
Get small. Kiss Marge. Hug kids. Tell Flanders him stupid.
My debigulator will handle that. Now what is wrong with this thing? Oh, Glaven!
Tiny nerd. You'll come in handy at school, but why didn't it work on Dad?
Oh, he must still be bloated with shard energy, like he ate a 0 point bean burrito.
God, I love sci-fi babble.
This could be a blessing in disguise in underpants. Homer, I have an idea, but you'll have to come with us to face the demon master.
That sounds dangerous.
Not care. Not want to live huge without Marge.
Oh, sweetie, I love you too.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
You're still giant. Could you clean the gutters?
Me do later. First defeat Demon Master!
Yeah. Yeah. So we got the island's shape, but Springfield's looks. Yeah. Oh, right, the 60 players is gone. Forgot about that. But yeah, that's that. You don't have a lot of friends. Sure, she does. Let me go get my alt back in. Once I get my alt in, I'm gonna go ready up. And while I'm readied up and getting into a game, I'm gonna go have a drink of water. Because I am super duper dehydrated. Hello, Princess. Welcome to the stream. It's been a long time. How have you been? I haven't heard from you in a while. To be fair, I haven't really said much myself, but... how have you been? Do not invite the other Sky. We're both using the same skin. That is going to be awkward as fuck. Come on. Stupid thing work. Thank you. I've been good. Wish we all could play again. I mean, I'm down whenever. There is one thing. I'll explain it a little later, maybe when I'm not streaming. I don't want to talk about it here. It's not your fault or anything. It's someone else's, but I don't want to talk about that here. I'm gonna get a drink of water, and I'll be back. I'll be like 30 seconds. I'm down to play or whatever. It's just any of us. I don't really care, but I'm just I'm just scared to send an invite. I'll be back. That was 30 seconds, I think. Ooh, drama. I'm probably looking into it too much, to be honest. Probably nothing, but I don't know. It's been bothering me. All good. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for this live event. I think this is gonna be fire. It's gonna be like Ready Player One, dude. Wait, why can't I break the... Okay, that's weird. Sure. Hmm. There is actually a lot I do need to tell you, Princess, if you're still here. Um, but I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared to tell you about it because I've just figured that you wouldn't side with me because, I mean, I'll probably just text you it after this game. Hello, Ned Flanders. I know after the first weekend you had killed like 33,000 individuals, but they were probably all bots. Yeet. Oh, that didn't do anything. Bang. Delaney Monkey. I don't even know that's how you pronounce it. Probably not. I'm pretty sure I have undiagnosed dyslexia. When's the last time you saw a worm? Did I use night crawlers for fishing last school year? When I was ice fishing? I don't think I was using night crawlers. I was using minnows. I don't remember the last time I saw a worm. It's been a while. I couldn't tell you. It's been a long ass time. It's like they just disappear. I was gonna make some really stupid joke, but I can't even, like... I don't even know what joke I'd make. Huh. Yeah. God, I'm not gonna lie, the Homer voices are getting kind of annoying. They're not even loud. They're loud for people that have their game audio generally down. But if you have like everything down, everything super low, it's for whatever reason their dialogue isn't lowered as well, so it's like super loud. For me, it's just genuinely annoying. They appear all over when you're young, but they just stop. Probably because I'm not digging around the dirt anymore. I don't know. I always used to dig around the dirt, look for insects when I was a kid. I'd find ladybugs and I'd let them crawl all over me because I loved ladybugs. But I'm not 4 anymore, like I was when I was in preschool. That was a good time though. Little naps. We'd have like little naps outside, and then I'd see like a spider crawl on me. And you know what's the craziest part? I just let it. I had no care in the world. A spider would crawl on me while I was trying to take a nap outside, and I didn't fucking care. I let that guy just crawl all over me. I never got bit. Usually it wasn't spiders though. Usually it was like ants and shit. I couldn't go a day without seeing one. I never really saw many worms, but yeah, I did see worms a lot more when I was younger, but even when I was younger, I still didn't see worms all that much. It was usually... I don't know. It was usually ants and shit, but even if I really, really try, I can find ants anywhere. Well, not now, obviously, but... Now it's too cold. You're crazy. Crazy. I can't do it. I can't do it. I had no care in the world. Life was just sunshine and rainbows. The only thing that wasn't sunshine and rainbows was my sensory issues. But I don't have those anymore. I lost my sensory issues once I was like... maybe 8. Yeah. 7 or 8. Then noises stopped bothering me, loud noises and stuff. I'd find worms just minding their own business all the time. Yeah, I don't, maybe it's just where I live, but even then, that just sounds a little... I don't know. The donuts piss me off, because half the time, like, I sink into them, like, in a way. It's weird. Trying to save my deodorant applicator because I know I might need it later, and this thing loses its durability very quickly. I realistically have not used it like much at all. Alright, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? It's the fucking... It's the shotgun, I think. It's either the shotgun or it's the embiggen. And it's either the best thing or it's the worst thing. Nope, it's very much the shotgun. Alright, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'll take it. Why not? Oh my god, there's another one. Oh, and it has 100 durability. Oh, yeah. No, you don't. Like, I guess? Okay. Let me get my alt back in. Hold on, chat. Let me get my thing in the party real quick. Alright. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Someone said something earlier and I didn't see it, so let me see what that was about. Do you ever accidentally call a male teacher mom? No, I have called female teachers mom, though. And I've also called... I also called my babysitter when I was like really young mom once as well. Those are like the most vivid memories that always come back at like 3 in the morning and they just and then I can't fucking sleep. It sucks. I hate it. I hate thinking of like when I'm just like I stutter, right? Because it happens. I mean, maybe it happens to everyone, right? But I feel like it happens more to people that stutter a lot, like myself. And it just like, and then I'll just say it, and then it's like, damn. It's just, it's not, yeah. You see, I'm saying, you know, I'm about to slide. Hey, I just want to slide. You mean that's one of the more embarrassing things for you? Yes. Most of the time I try to avoid situations that make me embarrassed. Which, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but I would say I've done a half decent job at that. I feel like I don't get embarrassed as much as someone else would. But, yeah, I don't know. I suppose that only makes it when I get embarrassed even worse. It's like, ugh. And I'm like, fuck, why did I say that? Or, you know. And there's also a chance I maybe do get embarrassed a lot, but I just try to, like, push it all aside and not think about it. I don't know. And that's one of the least. I mean, I always had those dreams of me at school with naked in my underwear. Not even in my underwear, but just butt naked. Like my cock out and everything. And I'm like, okay. Okay, the first thing I need to do is get the fuck out of here. Out of this building. Because I'm not gonna be able to get anything. Without embarrassing myself. So I'd have to wait for the coast to be clear, but like how the hell? Like there's people walking down those halls all the time, and like staff and everything, like hell no. So it's just like what do I do? Oh, it never gets easier. I'd assume it probably does if you get embarrassed a lot, but maybe not. I don't know. But again, that's a dream, so it doesn't fucking count. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I do get embarrassed. I do get embarrassed like a decent bit, but most of the time, I'm very good at like hiding that shit deep within my brain so I never think about it again unless someone brings it up. If someone brings it up, then it's like... Okay. So, when I was 11, right, I loved collecting coins. I've always loved collecting coins. If I'd see a normal quarter or dime or penny or whatever that has a different like design like on the back, right? Then it's a collectible coin. It's like, you know, I always like collecting those. And if I was, let's say, out somewhere and like my dad, right? My dad would have like all these coins in his wallet, right? and he'd always give me whatever, like, out of the ordinary coins he had, and I'd just give him, like, in replacement, normal boring coins. They're worth the same. It's just, I love collecting coins. So I had a friend back in. Well, I knew him from baseball. We met each other when we were 9. And I was friends with the guy till I was maybe about 15. I stopped being friends with him when I was 15 because he was just. He ended up being a little weird. And I'm very glad. My mom was always kind of. Like. She always just kind of felt bad that, like, for the guy that I left him and didn't, I kind of just blocked him without saying anything and stuff. And I never really said anything directly to him, like, dude, fuck off, I'm never ever talking to you again. I was just kind of like, every time my mom said, let's go hang out with this guy, I'm like, no, no, no. I really don't want to. I cannot. I really, like, please, Mom, don't take me. But now, my mom is very happy that I did what I did because the guy has gone down. Let's just say, I know this sounds a little harsh, but he's a little bit of a failure. Failed his college course that he was taking. He owes his parents a whole bunch of money. He's like in dude, I need these homers to like fuck off. Yeah, owes his parents a whole bunch of fucking money. He does drugs. He gets in trouble. He's been in legal trouble. He's like he's had people like egg his house and like threaten to like kill him and stuff like that cuz he just doesn't give he's a troublemaker. And the thing with me is I fucked off like just before all that, like literally like maybe a month before all that shit went down. So yeah, no, but anyway, that's that same ex-friend of mine. He collected a bunch of coins too, and I'll admit his coin collection was always better than mine. He had a bunch of silver coins that his relatives had given him. And I saw one that was laying on the ground, like, once. Like, it was right underneath the couch, kinda. And I was like, dude, he has so many of these coins, he's not gonna care if one goes missing. So I put it in my pocket. And we went to go watch a movie in the park, because our local park, every Friday of August, of every August, does, like, movies in the park. Yeah, movies in the park. I'm pretty sure the one we were watching was some sort of Avengers movie at the time. I don't remember which one exactly, but he was talking to his mom about how he couldn't find his coin before he left, and his mom had suspicions that I took it, which I kept saying no, I didn't, and that if when we go back, I'll help him look for the coin. The whole thing where it's like you take something, it's like, oh no, I'll help you look for it. I was gonna do that, right? I was gonna help him look for it, and I was like, okay, shit, I fucked up. I'm gonna put this coin back close to where I found it. When I came back, but no, that's not it. That's not what happened at all. His mom demanded that my mom search my pockets for that coin, and yeah, she found it, and then I had to like apologize and stuff, and that was like, I was like 11. I mean, I shouldn't have been doing that shit at 11. Fuck's sakes. I'm very embarrassed of myself for doing that, because like I was older at that point. Like, am I really still doing that shit? But you know what? I wish I... He doesn't deserve anything. He doesn't deserve that stuff. I should have went back for round 2. On God, I should have went back for round 2. But, yeah. That's another really, really embarrassing thing that happened. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure my mom forgot about it, so it's nice that, you know, she doesn't ever bring it up. And to be honest, I don't think anyone ever brought it up after that day, but I always held that against me, and I always felt fucking terrible that I did that, because, I mean, come on, like, I was 11 and a half, like, am I really doing this shit? Yeah. That was a thing that happened. I still can't believe you just choose to forget something. Oh, I mean, a lot of... Yeah. You think you know someone. You don't really... You really don't do many embarrassing things. I really don't. You know, besides embarrassing myself on stream, which isn't even really embarrassing myself oftentimes, but... Yo, can I join join... How's your aim so straight? I don't know. I never really thought of my... I mean, some people have told me that my aim is pretty good and that have, like, good tracking and stuff, but realistically, I don't think my aim is nearly as good as, like, someone else's. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people would have it better. I don't do aim training maps or anything like that. I suppose I traded my aim skills. No, I traded my building skills for my aim skills. I can't build for shit. I'm not really... 11's too old to be caught stealing. To me, in my head, it always was too old, but maybe not. I don't know. I always held it against me. I'm like, dude, I'm too old to be doing this shit. I would have went back for round 2, though, if I knew where this kid would have ended up in life. That's a lot more than the just avoiding embarrassing situations. I'm not... Anyway, I forgot... I didn't answer your question, Mr. Akinator, Aninator, or whatever your name is, but, I'm not really playing with viewers right now. If anyone that I know wants to join, I'll let them play. But, like, I'm not really playing with new viewers right now. I don't really add people or play with people that, like, just first showed up in the stream. Like, they've had to been here for, like, a little while, you know? With all due respect, like, I'm sure you're just looking for someone to play. You misspelled Mr. Animator. Oh, Animator. Okay, okay. Where the fuck did this guy go? I did not catch where he went. He's probably, like, behind one of these, like, things, but... Then again, I don't know. Oh! And if as long as he stays by the river, he'll just keep dashing, so I think we're just gonna have to play the same game he's playing. That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Oh shit, wait, hold on. that. Bada bada bada. Do I play ballistic? I don't know. I think me playing it alone is gonna be like, okay, I lied. I'm not champion 20%. I'm champion 21%. That's higher than I thought I was. Although I will admit, I feel like there's been a lot of times recently where it said I was so and so rank, but then when I went to the lobby, I was like a percent higher than what it actually said. It's like it didn't properly give me the percent accurately, and then it gave me like an additional percent afterwards. I've never lost a percent that way, but I have noticed that I've gained a percent and sometimes even 2% like extra when I return to lobby. I don't know why that happens, but it's kind of interesting, I suppose. I do believe I was champion 20% when I finished that game, and now I'm 21% for some reason. But yeah, I guess we're doing that. Like, what? I don't know. Decimals? Maybe, but like normally ballistic doesn't have that issue. Like, it. I don't know. Like, I just have it on like the edge, right? For rock, like I think the best example I can give is Rocket Racing. With Rocket Racing, once you're like fourth, once you're getting like fourth place and stuff like that, as long as there's as long as there's 7 people or over in the race that like load in originally, basically what happens is you get 0.5% for fourth place. So like every other race you're getting 1%, and then the other race you're not getting anything. So like I understand the whole thing of with that. But with ballistic, I feel like Rocket Racing never did the thing where they gave me an extra percent here and there. Ballistic though has. It's like it's either it rounds up or something. Like, and I'm not actually 21%, I'm like 20.7%. I don't know. And it just doesn't do that for like any other map. Oh, right, the Zombies Desert map. Yeah, I used to play that map. I used to play that map. Hmm. 45. That also doesn't make sense, because then it'd be rounding down at that point, and I would still be champion 20%. So me being champion 21%, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me at all. Low quality. Shit. 4.5 is 5. Yeah, but no, I get that, but at that point, it wouldn't do that. It's still underneath the halfway point would round up, but anything below that it wouldn't. So like 4.9 it wouldn't round. Like it would 4.9 is not going to round to 5 and then round 4.5 is not 45 hundredths or whatever it's, yeah, 45 hundredths is not going to round to to 5/10ths and then round up to the whole number. That's not how it works. It wouldn't do that. Fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna get my alt in here. No, it wouldn't do that. Yeah, no, that's not how math works. A 4.5, not 4.5. A 0.45 isn't going to round up to point 0.5 and then round up to a whole number. That's not how I spell. That's not how to spell. Where's the smart one? What do you mean? Oh, Lex? For 45 hundredths is not point 0.5. I don't need her in here to tell me to vouch for me. That's just not how it works. You can't do that. You could round it to 0.5, but if we're talking about the current context of the situation, which was rounding up to a whole number, it wouldn't like 45 wouldn't do it. 0.45 wouldn't do that. You're the graduate. Hopefully there's no distractions now, but wait a minute, hold on. I want to look at something. Collections. I need 3 more crown wins, and then I have 200 crown wins this season in Battle Royale. Obviously, a lot of mine have come from Blitz because of the wings, but I did get to Legendary 2 last night, actually, chat. And what happened when I did that is I looked at how much I would need to rank up again. And unfortunately, I need wait. It was 70, now it's 68 because I played one game and the daily bonus like win as well counts because I played one game of Blitz earlier today, but it's 70 wins. Now I'm at 68 because of the bonus. But yeah, kind of yeah, 70 and then I'm assuming 70 to 100 maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it's 70 then I don't know. The alt account's still going down even though the game crashed. Usually by now it would have been floating in the sky. Fuck, no pun intended by that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Whoa. The hell? The hell was that guy doing up there? At the bird. I think bird is the one thing that unifies this season with chapter 6. Because chapter 6 was the bird chapter, you know? And I have a feeling that chapter 7 isn't going to have bird. So, you know, we'll have to have a funeral. Friday, we're gonna have to Friday's stream. If I do a stream on Friday, I'm gonna have to title it the Bird Funeral. The funeral of Bird. Because we're just gonna go into this assuming that chapter 7 isn't going to give us Bird anymore, because every single chapter they changed the gas stations. Like, it's not the same like name. The gas stations change the company every chapter. Like, Peabody owned the last chapter's, gas company. Bird obviously owns this one, but we never got a bird skin. And I thought for sure we'd get a bird skin. We never did. Never too late, but, if we just follow the current, protocol when it comes to new chapters and gas stations, chances are Bird's gonna be left in the dust after this season. And Bird will never, ever be spoken of again. Except when people remember, the Bird named location. People will probably think about that. The thing is, Chapter 6 launched with so many new locations from the start. So it made it kind of hard to really get to appreciate each one. That's one thing I loved about Chapter 4. It dropped with, 9 named locations. That's not a lot. There was a lot of, empty space on that map. So it really gave you a lot of time to appreciate the few locations that you did have. And it made them more memorable. I think also having less POIs helps when it comes to the pace of the game. Because when you have, 5 people landing at, every named location at the start of Chapter 6, you can't really get... Basically, the early games end up being pretty boring, and usually early games are supposed to be super fun with, Q killing a bunch of people. But there was a ton of times I remember in Chapter 6 where I'd land somewhere and I'd never find people. Meanwhile, there used to be times on, Chapter 4 where I swear to God, I'd find someone landing at every single location, every single game. But with Chapter 6, there was at least, a good maybe 4 or 5 locations that genuinely no one would land. Because of the fact that there was just way too many named locations, way too many places to drop, way too many places to go. So, there's a lot of places in Chapter 6, a lot of named locations from especially Season 1 that I think will just be forgotten in time, and, people will not even remember that they existed. One I could, think about is, Twinkle Terrace. Twinkle Terrace, that was a Season 1 place. Night Shift Force, okay, I will say Night Shift Force is probably the most memorable Season 1 location that, got removed after Season 1. I know there was, the dojo one. It wasn't Demon's Dojo. It was, called something else. It was, a dojo location that was, near Bird and shit. I know that obviously there was Bird. Chapter 6, Season 1. Map. Images. Okay, I lied. Warrior's Watch. That's one I always forget about. Warrior's Watch. And I guess there was... Hopeful Heights was cool, but I feel like that's another one that people forget about, even though it was there for 2 seasons. Um, we Another location that was in the game for 2 seasons that I think people are gonna forget about is Whiffy Wharf. Like Whiffy Wharf, I don't remember. Like I think I landed there maybe a grand total of like 5 times. It was a cool location. I liked how it looked and stuff. The layout, I will admit, was kind of shit. Um, but I liked how it looked visually. But besides that, it had nothing really else going for it. Um, like if you tell, I'm sure you could tell like a veteran Fortnite player. You could say Whiffy Wharf, and they'll be like, "Who?" You know, they don't remember. They don't remember. Or they'll rack their brain and be like, "Oh, that place." You kind of have to like, pinch them in the fucking the noggin a few times though before they, remember. And then obviously we could talk about Blitz and Reload named locations that, obviously there's all the Blitz maps that we've had that disappear after like, a couple weeks. Those named locations are going to be long forgotten. And obviously the named locations in some of the Reload maps, especially Squid Grounds. I couldn't tell you any of the named locations from Squid Grounds except for Square something squared eats. No, I actually don't even remember what that one was called. Squared meals, squared meals or something. I remember that location. And I'm pretty sure I remember there was a place called like Cloudy Condos. I think there was a place called Cloudy Condos. And like besides those two named locations, I couldn't tell you anything. Like that place, that map was just so forgettable. Besides like obviously the mini games and stuff, but like I didn't care about the mini games. That like I've said this 100 times on stream and off stream that shouldn't have been a reload thing. That should have been a battle royale thing. They should have just taken those mini games and just glued them to already existing Fortnite locations on battle royale. Sure, a smaller collab, but I think it would have been a more memorable collab that I feel like people would have cared about more. Reload, it just did. And also that Reload map just had way too many bugs. I can't believe a collab map got way more time than Nightmare Island. I love Nightmare Island. That was such a good Reload map, and we got it for. We got it for. I'm not even joking. Less than a month. We had that map for less than a month. They made that map, and then we had less than a month to play on it. I'm assuming because it's a haunted, kind of like Halloween map, they'll just bring it back every Fortnite Mares. So over time, it will, become more memorable because it'll be a recurring thing. But, as of right now, like, I don't know, it came out like a little over a month ago, and it's been gone for 3 weeks now, like, Also, I'm not playing another one without the alt. Man, it's so stupid. But yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Was there anything else, like, other crazy, like, I want to, like, talk about, like, forgotten, like, locations in Fortnite. I don't know. I think it's funny. There's that, right? Alright, I guess there was Demon's Dojo. It was Demon's Dojo and there was Demon's Domain. I always get those two locations mixed up. Um, Bowling Pin Factory. I will never forget you. Even though I only been to this place like 3 times, it was memorable. Um, my iPad's gonna die. Um, wait. Squid Grounds map. Squid Grounds map. Like, fucking. Oh my god, it wasn't Cloudy Condos. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of Condo Canyon from Chapter 3, Season 1 to 3, and then in Chapter 3, Season 4, they called it Cloudy Condos because the whole location was lifted up in the air. This place was called Costly Condos. Oh my god. Manager's Meals, Phony Crossroads. See, I would have thought I would have remembered this one because this one was based off of Coney Crossroads from Chapter 3. I thought I would have remembered that. I love Coney, but guess not. Hectic Hedges, I even remember Red Greens. That was also like a big one. And Labyrinth, that was also a big. Okay, Affluent Arrivals, obviously I wasn't going to remember that. Designer Docks, Player's Power. I didn't even remember Red Greens, which was the red light, green light location. Um, and then what else? I see a lot of the locations from Nightmare Island are also really forgettable because, like, we only had it for, however long. Fortnite. Fortnite. Terror Turrets, Gravy Gates, A Strange Estate, Creepy Cabins, Haunted Hamlet, Leech Lake. I only remembered Punishment Patch and Haunted Hamlet. The other ones I forgot about. Retail Ruin was a cool location, and Spooky Suburbs was massive. That was a pretty big location for a reload map, but I also fucked with it. And there's Revenge Reels. I forgot about that. Yeah, like, I feel like I'd be able to remember these locations a lot better, but it's just, you know, we didn't have like any time to spend on the map. And then there's also the fact that I wasn't playing a ton of Reload as well. I'd play like here and there, but I wasn't playing it every day. It did this map did help me get back into Reload for a little while, and I was playing it like it was kind of in the rotation, but you know, and then they removed it, and I just stopped caring again. What's that like Stark Island Blitz Marvel map? Because there was like I know there was one. There was Stark Cabin. There was Tony Stark Cabin, but there was another location that we had never seen before that was also pretty big. And what was that called? Stark Academy, right? So obviously I knew Stark Industries. I knew that was there. I remembered Stark Cabin. I remembered Stark Cabin, but I didn't remember Stark Academy. That's so funny. And then what was the fucking strange? Okay, this is the current one. Okay, let me think. I remember there's Hawkins Heights. There's Stranger. Is there a Stranger Suburb? I don't remember. I only remember Hawkins Heights. I don't remember anything else. Or is this? Where's this map? I need an image of the map. There it is. Gnarly Farms. No one's gonna remember that. I know farm locations are super iconic in Fortnite. Like I remember all of the farm names, well, except for Red Greens, I guess, in the Squid Game map, and I guess I'm not gonna remember Gnarly Farms. No one's gonna remember this named location once this collab is over. Yeah, okay, so there is a Stranger Suburbs, right? Hawkins Heights, Library Landing. I'm not remembering this. I'll remember this one and this one, I think. These ones I can remember. To be fair, these are the ones I land at the most. Library Landing. No, I'm not gonna remember that shit. Like what? It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Speaking of Blitz, I'm playing that. What would be a dead server? Middle East. Middle East would be a dead server right now. And Asia, but even Asia, like, it's getting, like, the day's starting to open up. There might... See, here's my fucking problem with when the Blitz player count is high. When it's high, there are more people playing, so it's hard to get these, like, dead server, like bot lobbies. So I'm gonna try this. I'm probably gonna get fucked, but we're gonna give it a shot. You said something? Yeah, I was talking about Blitz maps. I was talking about, like, named locations that are, like, super forgotten and, like, no one's gonna remember them. But you weren't paying attention, and you're the only one that's, like, active here. Everyone else is just lurking. So, yeah. I guess that will just become lost media. It's okay. It wasn't important. I guess it doesn't matter. No, my mom was making me trying to find a bookmark. Fair enough. I was basically talking about how... like chapter 6 has a whole bunch of the thing with chapter 6 that I think was a big flaw from launch was the amount of named locations that were on that map. It started off with so many, and if you compare that to 2 chapters before that, which was chapter 4, we had, I think, not 9 named locations on that map, which isn't a lot. And, you know, someone might think about that and be like, oh, that makes a lot of things just seem kind of bland, but I don't know, I liked it because it gave you time to appreciate each location, and the bigger problem about having too many locations on a map, especially a map that's that big, is the fact that not many people land at each location, so your early games are boring as fuck. All your early games are boring as fuck. Like, fuck. You land... listen. Whiffy Wharf. Let's talk about Whiffy Wharf for a sec. That location was in the game for 2 seasons. It was in the game for 2 seasons. Even though it had a longer shelf life than some of the other locations like Bird and Twinkle Terrace and Night Shift Forest and Warrior's Watch. I bet no one remembers Warrior's Watch. That's the one I always fucking forget about. You know, those locations, especially, like, those are forgettable. Not Bird and not Night Shift Forest. Those ones will be remembered. But fucking Whiffy Wharf, I liked how Whiffy Wharf looked visually, but that's it. Obviously where it was on the map was just terrible. But even that's not an excuse, because top left locations on the map have been amazing before. I can give some examples. Rebel's Roost from Chapter 5, that place was around for a long ass time, and that place was fucking awesome. Rebel's Roost was... well, especially Season 1, Rebel's Roost was awesome. And even when it wasn't, I still landed at Rebel's Roost here and there, even when it didn't really have much going for it. But fucking, yeah, Whiffy Wharf, nah, ugh. Even a location I landed at a lot, which was Hopeful Heights. Remember Hopeful Heights? Yeah, that place is gonna be, kind of forgotten. And I liked that place a lot. I landed there quite a bit. But, yeah, no, way more than Whiffy Wharf. I feel like people aren't even gonna remember Hopeful Heights. Maybe I'm just overreacting and people will, but... and I'm not giving people enough credit, but I don't have this feeling it's just not gonna be remembered. And then there's like... and then if we're talking reload maps, obviously, reload maps, there's the Nightmare Island reload map, and that made the thing that pisses me off about that map is they made it, they you know, spent however much time making the map, and then we had it for like 3 weeks. That's it. We had it for three weeks. That was it. It became playable to the public around like the 9th of October, and it left with the new season. It was gone after that. Like, that's the thing that just sucks, because like obviously I think like the one thing I was saying in time is like Gravy Gates, Terror Turrets, fucking Revenge Reels, Retail Ruin, Spooky Suburbs, and then obviously Haunted Hamlet, and Punishment Patch. I'm pretty sure I just named every single location on Nightmare Island. Those locations will become more memorable in time, because the thing is, I'm sure they'll bring them back every single October, every single Fortnitemares. But then they wouldn't bring it back, like, they wouldn't bring back the Squid Game map, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think they would. If they ever do, it'd be for, like, a weekend thing here and there. The Squid Game maps, I couldn't even I couldn't tell you the name locations on that. There was red greens, and there was fucking square meals. There were square meals, and I think designer docks, and then I don't remember any of the other locations. There's like all the other locations. I looked at the map like not even 5 minutes ago, and I still don't even remember the fucking locations on that one. I remember there was a condos location, but I originally said cloudy condos, but then I just remembered I got that mistaken with Chapter 3 Season 4, because Chapter 3 had in the desert, bottom right area of the map, they had a location called Condo Canyon. I always joked around and called it Condom Canyon. I loved Condo Canyon. Probably top 10 location of all time. I loved Condo Canyon. But then in Chapter 3 Season 4, it started floating in the air. They made it float in the air to like kind of, yeah, no sweat insurance. No sweat insurance made it float in the air so that way it wouldn't get infected with the chrome. And then they called it Cloudy Condos. No one's gonna remember fucking. So I got that location mixed up with the Squid Grounds location because that's of how unforgettable it was. Unforgettable. That's because of how forgettable that place was. And I think there was a place called the Labyrinth as well. Yeah, there was a place called the Labyrinth. Everything else though I don't remember. Hello, Buttered Corn. Welcome to the stream. It's Average Joe. Yo, yeah, you actually got a profile picture now. How have you been, man? It's been a minute. You just changed your name. Wifey Wharf is memorable for how dumb and forgettable it is. That is true. I will say, people, like, when I think of how forgettable it is, I'm talking about the general public. The general public won't remember Whiffy Wharf. I will remember Whiffy Wharf because I remember making the joke like 100 times about how fucking stupid the name was. One of the most stupid names of a Fortnite location. And so I will remember it. Will the general public remember it? No they won't. I know they won't. They clearly didn't care much about naming the Squid Game stuff. Yeah, no. Designer docs, fucking manager. There was like manager something as well. Like, dude, I don't know, bro. It's not, that wasn't it. It wasn't it. And then obviously the Blitz stuff. Obviously people will remember the main Blitz map, right? Anvil Park, Brutal Bulwark, because like it's still in the game right now, and that's probably gonna be like the thing. They might like slowly over time switch one location out for the other, but I think eventually because of how quick the games are and you keep dropping in, like I feel like people will eventually remember those names. Blitz, Mega City, Oathbound Citadel, Slap Factory. But then if we're talking like the collab maps, I don't think people are gonna remember. Like Hawkins Heights, Stranger Suburbs, Gnarly Farms, Liberty Landing. I'm telling you right now, out of all of these, I'm not remembering Gnarly Farms. Now, if anything, I might remember Hawkins Heights. That's an easy name to remember. And Stranger Suburbs, that's another one that's easy to remember. But the thing is, I might mix that one up with like Spooky Suburbs from the Reload Nightmare Island map. If I start thinking about it, like once this map is gone, I feel like I'll definitely 100% get those two mixed up. Even if I just think common sense, right? Like Stranger Things, Stranger Suburbs, I'm still gonna And then, like, Gnarly Farms, I'm not remembering that. I feel like Hawkins Heights I could remember, because we don't have anything like that. I mean, I guess Hopeful Heights, but, like, Hawkins Heights, Hopeful Heights, I feel like there's enough of a difference for me to distinguish the two. Well, I'd know the two if I looked at them from visually, but if I just thinking, like, off the top of my head. And then Liberty Landing, that's the one I just know I'm gonna never remember. Liberty Landing? No. Like, no. And then if we're thinking the Stark map, you know, the Marvel map, we obviously had Stark Industries, we had Stark Cabin, and I looked it up earlier. I remembered Stark Cabin, but I didn't remember, Stark Academy. I didn't remember Stark Academy. And that location was almost as big as fucking... I just remembered, I'm missing, cabins. I think it's called Creepy Cabins or something. There was a name, some cabin name location on Nightmare Island that I forgot about. I just remembered that for some random reason. But yeah, there was Stark Academy, Stark Cabin, and Stark Industries. By the way, bit of a sidetrack here, but Stark Cabin's probably the most basic named location of all time. It's just a fucking cabin. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's some basic ass named locations, but Stark Cabin is just a fucking cabin. That was in the game in Chapter 2, Season 4, obviously, but it was just not, like, obviously a named location, but they make more simple things named locations in Blitz because it's Blitz. You know what's another location that people aren't gonna remember? The prison from the Walking Dead collab. They randomly added the prison from the Walking Dead. They put that on the map. I mean, I might remember it just because Walking Dead prison. But I feel like a lot of people didn't come back to Blitz for this. But a lot of people came back for this update. Because at peak player times, player counts, there's been over 100k people playing this. But, people didn't come back for the Walking Dead collab. And that one had the prison in it. And, like, so people aren't gonna know that the prison was a fucking, like, a named location. Because it was a limited time location on the main Blitz map. 2 locations ended with the same word. Citadel? You mean Oathbound Citadel? There's a lot of locations that end with the same word on... I'm pretty sure... There was... Oh yeah, there were literally 2... In Chapter 6, there were 2 locations that ended with the same word. We had Crime City, a very, very memorable location, by the way. I'll give you that. I love Crime City. And Seaport City. Also, very memorable location. I will miss Seaport. I think, overall... I feel like I like them both equally, but I think in my heart I like Seaport a slight bit more than Crime City because, I mean, in Season 2 you could get the drum gun. I mean, it was right, you'd land at Seaport, you'd get the fucking, you'd get the dill bit, and then after you get the dill bit, you'd go to, like, the Pride fields, and, like, near that area, there was, like, that big building with the basement, and Midas was there, and, I mean, you could get his drum gun, and Crime City's black market, and, back rooms didn't have any, like, the only really memorable thing that one had was the Shockwave RPG. And besides that, like obviously I had more fun landing at Crime City at the start. But like over time I realized that like Seaport just had better shit. I'm pretty sure even the backrooms stuff in Seaport was better. If I remember correctly, the backrooms had it didn't have the collateral like the Trinity. The Trinity was up in Magic Moss's. I'm pretty sure Magic Moss's also had the Chug Jug. I know at the end of the season they started like switching it around, like what stuff was where. But like only from the places that had seen those mythic weapons. So like I know they like removed a bunch of the exotics and then brought in new exotics, and then they started rotating them out like the last couple weeks of the season. I remember that was a thing. I thought that was pretty cool. They put so much effort into Lawless that they didn't put in like fucking in like Super, Chapter 6 Season 3 Super, and also even Galactic Battle. Like Lawless just had so much like passion. And even Shock and Awesome had a lot of passion to it, but no one, and I repeat, no one's ready for that conversation. Because I love Shock and Awesome. I think that was the best season of Chapter 6. Well, maybe not. Maybe Simpsons season's the best season in Chapter 6. Then it's Shock and Awesome. Then it's Lawless. Then it would be Hunters. Then it would be Galactic Battle, and then it'd be Super. I know a lot of people really like Super, but I am a D1 Super hater. I hate Super. Chapter 6 Season 3 was overrated as fuck. You miss Seaport? Seaport was awesome. I'm just thinking of the fucking time that I was like dancing or whatever, or I was like emoting on someone that I like killed, like up on top of a fucking roof, and then I got headshot sniped. It's the most random thing. Like, it's something that could happen in any game, but for whatever reason, I remember that so fondly. It was funny. I also had a lot of chase scenes, like I'd chase a bunch of people in Seaport. And, like, Seaport had 2 reboot vans. And I remember, like, always trying to shockwave, try to get to the beach to, like, and people would always reboot at the fucking beach. Dude, Also, when they replaced Seaport City with, in Chapter 6, Season 3 with, Utopia City, even then, there were 2 locations that ended with the same word, Crime City and Utopia City. Utopia City... It wasn't as cool. I'll admit, it wasn't a bad location. Like, I did like Utopia City, and then eventually it became Dystopia City, and then it went back to Utopia City afterward. They gave it its name back. But yeah, I did like Utopia City, but nothing's gonna beat the original, which was Seaport. And Seaport was basically a knockoff of Mega City. And Mega City was fucking awesome, and I will say Mega City is... I would take Mega City over Seaport, but it is still very close. I still loved Seaport. I have, like, a favorite location from each map. Chapter 5 was easily Hazy Hillside. Chapter 4 was Mega City. Chapter 3 was Reality Falls. Chapter 2 was probably Lazy Lake. Dude, there's so many... Or maybe The Agent. Dude, there was so... I don't know. It's hard to choose of Chapter 2. Chapter 1 Tomato Temple, my favorite Chapter 1 location, and then Chapter 6 being Seaport. I wonder what's gonna be that memorable location next. It's always like most of the time, like lately, like the last, I don't know. Season 1 has so many good memorable locations in it, and then like, I don't know. It actually, that's a lie. Season 1, because a lot of times there's locations that get removed after the first season. Like Faulty Splits. Faulty Splits, loved Faulty. Never got, but I loved Faulty. I think that's a location that got removed after after one season that people will remember. But with Chapter 6, right, it's the biggest hit or miss, and most of the time it was a miss when it came to the locations that got added in Season 1. And every single one of them got removed, at least for a little bit, except for Canyon Crossing. Chases through Seaport were crazy. Super had so much wasted potential, it did. I missed the movement, wall kicks, and... Right! They made Seaport for the wall kicks and, like, the rolls and stuff, and, like, that's, like, the... Sometimes that'd be, like, the only time I'd ever do, like, a wall kick the whole game. It'd be in Seaport. Dude, that was such a unique location, bro. Saying the first season as the most memorable is rigged because it's also the season that adds the most. Well, yeah. It's a lot of it's slop, but then you have like the couple that are like really, really fucking good. We still have no idea what Chapter 7's new mechanic is gonna be. Maybe this is the first season that they don't add a new mechanic to the chapter, to the game from a new chapter. I'm not sure though. Chapter 3 is a weird one because Chapter 3 added obviously sliding, but they also added 2 new mechanics like in Season 2, which they usually don't do. I guess Chapter 4 also did a new mechanic, which was grinding. And that was Season 2. And Season 1 added, like, vaulting over things, but, like, to this day, you can only really do that in creative, and they haven't... Because they didn't add, like, the vaulting through the windows and stuff. It was just, like, it was just, like, hurtling over things. In Chapter 4 Season 1. And then they, got rid of it after a while. So, like, to me, Chapter 4, when I always think about it, like, Chapter 4's mechanic was, like, grinding, even though it was Season 2 edition. I wish wall kicks and rolls would come back. Even though they're very forgettable, I do think it made for interesting gameplay. If you were willing to do it. Someone that was doing ground rolls and stuff, like, and like, wall kicks, I don't feel like that would have been an as big, like, thing for, like, builds. I feel like that'd be way more of a better mechanic that, like, you could use in fights for, like, zero builds. For builds, I don't think any of that stuff would have ever really... Because, like, when you're doing that stuff, like, the wall... Like, when you're when you're doing the ground roll, you can't build. So that's like a second or two that you can't fucking build. You know what I mean? Wall kicks, I think you could build while doing that, but there were honestly, even though it's builds and there's like a lot of walls, there weren't a lot of times that you'd end up doing a wall kick during a build fight. It was usually a wall scramble. The wall scramble is the best thing that best mechanic that Chapter 6 added. And that's the one thing that stayed. And I guess the wind leaps are also good. The wind leaps are also good. That mechanic is also... It's a nice, like, quality of life thing. It wasn't needed, but, you know, it's nice that they added it. So yeah, I wonder what Chapter 7's mechanic is going to be, because usually by now it would have been, like, leaked, and I've seen jack shit about new mechanics. So. Oh yeah, right, Chapter 2, and then Chapter 2's mechanic was swimming. The thing is, everyone forgets it, so you can throw someone off when you use. Oh yeah, and also Chapter 2 had the like yeeting people, yeeting and like picking up like teammates and like other people and then like throwing them and stuff like that. That was also a mechanic. Is it? Does that count as like? I don't know if it is. I don't know. I guess so. I don't know. Chapter 2 Season 2 had shakedowns, but you know, that got removed. Once it ended. Actually, well, yeah. I think Shakedown stuck around for like the first couple seasons after it got introduced, and then it got removed. I think it was Chapter 2 Season 5 that Shakedowns got removed. Or maybe, I don't know. Fuck. I should like recollect myself on that information. Being able to roll in a chase to regain some stamina, no one expects it. Yeah, I suppose. It wasn't even like a crazy amount of stamina too, so like I feel like it almost didn't do enough. Like I guess it could throw someone off after a while, but I don't know. But at that point usually people have other movement items that, you know, relying on your like stamina and sprinting, I don't think it would have mattered, but that's just my personal opinion. The sun change in velocity. I also remember that one Winterfest challenge in Seaport City, and I remember being shocked when like when the looper themselves were like talking. I was like, wait, what? I remember that one. And then, yeah, Seaport had snow for a little bit during Winterfest. Like, I'd say like 66% of the map. Was like snow. Had snow on it during Winterfest. And then that instantly got removed. Meanwhile, Chapter 5's extra snow stayed around for a little bit after the Winterfest ended. I don't know, when there's snow on a map, on like a location that doesn't normally have snow, and then when the snow gets removed, I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's memorable looking back thinking like, damn, I remember when that place had snow. It's the most like basic kind of map change, but like I feel like it does so much for like the vibe of the place. It changes completely. If you change them right, it would build up. Usually, you could chain rolls back to back if you did it right. Yeah, I suppose. To be fair, I wasn't the best at the rolling. I didn't do it very much. And I still don't do very much because I don't play creative very much. And, yeah. But yeah, no, that's like, that's some shit that, when I talk about people like reviewing Chapter 6, no one even mentions like the old mechanics. Like that's how forgotten they are. Like people when they talk about Chapter 6 Season 1, they talk about Godzilla, right? They talk about the Typhoon Blade, right? The memorable things of the season. Maybe they'll even bring up Seaport City. But they don't ever bring up the mechanics that we lost along the way. Wall kicking. And the rolling, the ground roll. It's that forgotten. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. What if I just played nothing but Blitz for the rest of the season, got maxed out Mythic Wings, so that way I never have to play Blitz again when the new chapter comes out? That's not gonna happen. I still won't play very much Blitz when the new chapter comes out. I'll probably put it off for like at least a couple weeks. And even when I do play it, it probably won't be very often. It might be like 2 or 3 games here and there. Not any like crazy grind sessions. At least not till the month, like December's over. Maybe then maybe I'll do like a couple here crazy, so I can get the maxed Blitz wings. But I don't know. The wall kicks were horrible for actually going up. Yeah, that's true. Most of the time you do like in that one room, it'd be like you'd wall kick twice if you're lucky, and then you do a wall scramble in Seaport City, like the elevator kind of shaft thing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. I even remember a couple chase scenes of like going up that elevator shaft to try to like chase people. It's just Seaport City is so good. It's so unique because of the stupid fucking mechanics that were eventually just removed from Battle Royale and all epic modes. But I guess that just makes it even better in that way, looking back on it. Because none of the other locations did that. I love how the fence doesn't have aim assist, like, that this is literally trying to play Fortnite without aim assist. Because obviously the fence disables it. My aim's so bad. I'm nothing without my aim assist. They can't nerf this shit. It's already been nerfed to the ground, but like, if they nerf it anymore, oh, it's throwing me off for the rest of my fucking life. That's why I went away. It was only good in one location. I mean, the ground rolls and stuff like that, and like the wall kicks were around in Season 2 for like the first half of the season, and then they got rid of it. Seaport still existed during Star Wars season as well. They just weren't ready to bring out Utopia yet because it wasn't, you know, the superpower season. But the new mechanics were in Season 2 as well. I think a lot of people don't think about that. They just removed it halfway through the season. And then I remember one day, fucking I think it had been out for like the all the movement and stuff like that was gone for like a couple days, and I didn't notice. I didn't notice, and then one day I looked at Twitter and I was like, okay, that explains that. Explains why I haven't why I don't recall ever doing it. The roles are just forgotten. That's when people realized how bad they were. Yeah, that's true. People were kind of like, people did kind of think it was like a little extra to have those mechanics. And I'll admit, I also kind of thought that myself, and I'll also admit that I kind of stand by that to this day. I do think it would have been better if we consistently had more locations that utilized those mechanics, not just Seaport. Because it was only Seaport, it didn't feel very needed. To be honest, to be quite direct, it didn't. Like, there was not like, besides that one like area in Seaport, like, wall kicks weren't good for shit. The world wasn't made for it. Yeah. Yeah, they said it wasn't good for a battle royale setting. That's what they said. In the, but then keep it in, like, obviously creator-made maps, and then obviously you can disable certain mechanics in creator-made maps if you want. When you're making them. Otherwise, it'll be there on default, which is cool. I like that. I like that they didn't completely get rid of it. I don't think they ever said that they'd consider bringing them back, but who knows? Maybe in Chapter 7 they would. I kind of don't think they will, but you never know. It wasn't ready. There was one gap in Seaport I used them for a lot. I'd probably know what you were talking about if you like explained it to me and like visually, and I like saw the location. Like, I'm sure next season probably people are gonna start making Chapter 6 playground maps, and obviously the main one that people would probably do is from Season 1. So when we take a look at that, we can obviously. I want to, like, do a day where I'm playing with people and, like, we just, like, reminisce on, like, old maps, and we, like, play on some of those old playground maps, like the Chapter 4 ones, and the Chapter 5 ones, because I've never really done much of that. And just kind of, like, go to every location and be like, hey, I remember when this happened here, and I remember, like, when you did this, and I remember when so-and-so did, yeah, like, I just. Because for how much I reminisce over old chapters, I don't ever go on those maps. For whatever reason. I don't do it. I just play my game. I don't really reminisce. Once in a while I will, but I kind of like rush through it. Like, I don't properly like take my time looking at everything. It was over water. Yeah, I think I might know what you're talking about. I remember there was like the ledge like in the water. Like, trying to get up from it, it was, like, weird. Like, it was a little too high for, like, comfort, to be completely honest. So, I remember the new mechanics kind of helped get out of that. If I remember correctly, it was, like, there was, like, the big ledge, but then there was also, like, it was also kind of, like, slightly fenced, which made it, like, higher. If I'm thinking of the right thing. Or maybe I'm thinking of fucking Utopia City. Maybe both. I know Utopia had that. For sure Utopia had that. But I think Seaport had that as well. There was a bridge, but there was a bridge in Seaport as well that was over water, and then maybe like getting up on that bridge. Yeah. I remember there was that as well. I also remember the zip lines, like kind of like that kind of went over the location. Not the zip lines, but the ascenders, and you kind of go up that way. That's kind of what I did. But I remember the like the part that's over water. I'm remembering that now. Oh yeah, that rolling didn't need to go though. Yeah, rolling could have stayed. I do agree. I actually I think rolling could have stayed. However, I think they could have changed something with like the buttons and stuff like that, like how you do the roll. Because I'm telling you, there were so many times where I'm trying to shockwave, and then I'd like, I'm like clicking I'd be like spam clicking the A because I'm trying to like do a bunny hop or whatever, but then I just end up doing a ground roll, and doing a ground roll right after a shockwave kills the momentum that you have. It kills that momentum that you built, and you just can't do it anymore. Bro, why are you sending me a friend request? We're teammates, we're teammates, not enemy. No, we're teammates, not friends. We're just simply no, we're not even acquaintances. But yeah. Because I think a lot of people complained about that too. Like the fact that it would kill your momentum shockwaving, or there's a lot of times where you just do like an accidental ground roll and it just kind of fucked you over. Especially like, and I wasn't even really playing builds, but I know there was complaints about it in builds. Like you couldn't fucking build for like a second when that happened. Something fishy? That's a bot. This guy died to a bot. Chat, he died to a bot. Rolling on a Zenith. Rolls are better for building momentum than keeping it. Yeah, exactly. It was good to build up some momentum, but you couldn't get, like, go crazy like you can if shockwaves or even grappling. Like, grappling gives you momentum, and I think even grappling would kill the moment. Like, if you roll after a grapple, it would kill the momentum. It just wasn't... Yeah. I don't know. It was unnecessary, but they could have kept it in if they had changed something with, like, the button that you press before a roll. So, like, instead of pressing jump, see, what I'm thinking is I have back paddles, right, on my controller. Like, you could hit a back paddle to do the ground roll. That would have been perfect, right? But the thing is, not everyone has paddles on their controller. And I guess it wouldn't work that well for mouse and keyboard players. But, like, if this was a controller game and everyone had back paddles on their controllers, easiest thing to do is you click one of the back paddles before you roll. Well, before you hit the ground and then you roll. That would have been perfect. That would have fixed everything. But the thing is, it's not that easy. Because they have a fixed momentum no matter how fast you were beforehand. That's true. And they couldn't really make it where it increases your... Like, it keeps your momentum. Because you're rolling, right? Like, it couldn't really do that. Like, realistically. So, like, there wasn't anything they could have done in that scenario. But if they just... If they had given me another button... And honestly... If I had this controller, I probably could have binded it, right? Maybe somehow where I could roll it and it would have worked. But like, I just wish that was like the norm, where it was kind of given that way, where it was a different button that you'd press. I'd say B, but you know, building and all that. It's just But yeah, no, like I get it, right? They're adding so many different movement mechanics and stuff like that. So I guess they were kind of running out of ideas. They're with Chapter 6. They're kind of like random bullshit. Go. Um, so maybe they don't have any ideas for Chapter 7. Maybe they're gonna take a break when it comes to new mechanics, and they'll actually think about how, like, a new mechanic would be a game changer. Because the last time we had like a game changer, um, game like mechanic, would have probably been the Chapter 3 ones. All the Chapter 3 ones, um, like mantling and mantling and tactical sprinting. Sliding is also a game changer, but I even I will say I think tactical sprinting and mantling is more important than sliding. But let's just say all those. We'll just combine those three. Chapter 3's mechanics are the last like game changers. Chapter 4, the other ones have just felt like additions. You know what I mean? They haven't felt like it like changes the game. Chapter 5's like um you know, going through windows and shit, that didn't change too much. Chapter 4's vaulting, I mean, that had too many bugs, so they got rid of it. Um, grinding never really was a game changer either, and obviously none of the Chapter 6 stuff was a game changer. It perfectly linked with that leap off a cliff. Oh, like the rolls, yeah, I guess. Add them back, but treat them like they're new. Most people would fall for it. Yeah, the people that haven't played since the first season of last chapter, probably, yeah. Because they wouldn't fucking remember. But still, like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the move. You can add them back, but don't treat them like they're new. Just say new and improved, where you press a new button to do certain things, like for the rolls, for the wall kicks. I'm not gonna lie, with the wall kicks, I don't really know how they could make that any good, to be honest. I think wall kicks are just a lost cause. I never had a situation where wall kicking actually helped me in a fight. There were some times where I was in a real fight and I was like, damn, that wall kick was kind of cool, but I'm not even gonna lie. I think I was just delusional. I think if anything, the wall kicking was throwing me off during a fight. They could bring back the rolling though, if they do that. But the wall kicking, I think that's just a lost cause. I'm sorry. I don't see a point in it. That is the most useless fucking thing. They were great for keeping speed while running. Debatable. Also, how the fuck does that even make sense? Shit doesn't make sense to me. They launched you forward. Yeah, but not in like a... I don't think it would have been in that crazy way. Like, I don't know. Oh, we got an OG on our hands. Another day, another victory for the OG. Taking down the sweats. The imposters among us. Gap too big to jump even while sprinting. But you can't get around. You don't know anything, you never use them. Yes, I did. Don't fucking put words in my mouth. And you died for it? No, I didn't. A lot of my scenarios, every single scenario I died in, last season wouldn't have been, the wall kicking wouldn't have saved me. I know it wouldn't have. Not a single one. In Chapter 6 Season 1 and Chapter 6 Season 2, none of those scenarios last chapter that I died would have saved me. Wall kicking wouldn't have done that. Oh. Chapter 4. Gotta, pay my respects to, the Chapter 4 artwork. Oh, you're real. We found a real person. And unfortunately, they're gonna get that off. No, they're not. Dude, the one guy came in and was a meat shield for the other one. And I didn't have a shotgun, so like, there was nothing I could fucking do, but it's whatever. Can't win them all. Usually I lose every time we get a real team. You took 3 days to realize that you were gone. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You do not remember every death since the start of the chapter. I do not. But I'm just telling you right now, none of those situations would have saved me. None of the wall kicking would have saved me in any of those situations. It wasn't gonna happen. Unless I overly did it and threw someone off, but like, if anything, that would throw me off more because then I wouldn't be able to hit my fucking shots. Because usually, I'd go from a wall kick to a ground roll, and then like, even then, like, I can't, like, shoot my gun, like, for a bit during a ground roll, so it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? I'll leave it. Okay, well, I was gonna leave, but, yeah, you just finished me like a good boy, like the little good boy you are. Then don't say you do. I do. I remember every death since the start of this chapter. Remember everything, every single death, every single loss. I remember it all. Not mid-fight, a chase. Not even a chase would have... It wouldn't have even saved me a chase. There's a lot of times where I would have tried to go for a wall kick, and then it would just, like... It wouldn't... Like, it'd send me off in the wrong way. It was too awkward, it was too clunky. So you wouldn't use them right and blame them for it? I'd like to see you play fucking Tilted Zone Wars and use the new mechanics to win fights. I'd like to see you play like 3 hours of Tilted Zone Wars and use the ground rolling and the wall kicking to help you win fights. Exactly. Zone Wars, hell no. Well, we need to do some sort of combat. We'd have to do some sort of combat map where you can fight people. Not fucking Zone Wars. And you can't say like the Pit Zero build, right? Because the people in the Pit, well, Zero build version, are dog shit. So it'd have to be some sort of Zero build map that people play and are actually like sweaty and they're not just like going around being brain dead. And that's kind of hard to find, I'm not gonna lie. Ow. I know. Like Rapids. There's ZB Rapids. There's that shit. But it's like 1v1s. It's like what rapid 1v1s, and it's like, I don't know. It's a chase, escape, or catch. Oh, Gato. Yeah. Yeah, my face cam died, like always. "56 wins to advance. Fuck. Knowing me, I'll keep going until... Like, I think I'm gonna keep going until I get, like, another reel. I mean... I don't know, it seems like there's some real people showing up. But, like, I should have just ended there when I had my crown. I don't know. The wall kicks would be better for escaping than catching, though. That I probably could agree with. But then at that point, like, just have shockwaves. Nothing can go wrong with shockwaves. And I mean, it's me. I always have. Yeah, no, I'm fucking. Yeah, no. No, I should have ended it there when I had a fucking crown. But I didn't, so therefore, nothing I can do about it. Which I imagine is why you struggle with them. You don't run very much. I do. I do run a lot, actually. You gotta see me play ranked. The biggest fucking... A lot of it's hiding, but I will run when I have to, yes. But I don't run like people do in my fucking pub games. They're always running, I'm always chasing, but, you know. If you don't have something better, dumbass. Well, the thing is, I always have something better. I always have some sort of movement. I am noob. It's noobin time, you know? I always have movement. That's like that's my thing. Shockwaves have been my specialty ever since Chapter 3, Season 1. I've always loved shockwaves. I've loved shockwaves since, you know, Chapter 2 when I actually learned how to use them. However, I always made sure that, I think I really learned how to appreciate shockwaves in Chapter 2, Season 6, when they added the shockwave bow. Because the original reason in Chapter 2 that I didn't use shockwaves all that much was because, you know, you can carry up to 6, and then after you use the 6, you don't have them anymore, and then that's like a slot you could have used for like a second healing item or something like that. Or an SMG if you don't have an SMG. However, the shockwave bow in Chapter 2, Season 6 allowed me to really appreciate movement in the game. And then, you know, I further utilized that when they came back in, I believe it was Chapter 2, Season 7 and Season 8. And then I used them even more in Chapter 3, Season 1. Like, if I didn't have Spidey Mythics, I'd use shockwaves. But I've always known to be carrying shockwaves, and I wouldn't even care about my teammates. Like, my teammates, we'd all be sitting up on that mountain that was right next to Shifty Shafts in Chapter 3, and then I'd, like, shockwave planet off the fucking, the mountain, and then he'd land right into, like, another team, and he'd just instantly get one pumped. That happened at least 5 or 6 times, that exact scenario on that exact mountain. We don't talk about that, though, even though I just did. But no, I always have movement. If it's not shockwaves, I'll have something to the point where I don't need to rely on fucking wall kicks, bro. Like, what? You can't give an item that is conditional to argue against something that's constant. I don't care. Me having movement is always a constant. You just land and you get forced into a chase and have to run. You don't have your precious little shockwaves to save your ass. I kill the fucking guy. I don't run. I kill him. I'm not scared. And if someone grabbed the gun before me, sure, I'll do a little run into like the bottom floor of the house, grab a gun, and then, you know, go brrr, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. I'll be live tomorrow. If Lex wasn't here today, she'll probably be here tomorrow, so, you know. Maybe, you know, you're not the only person that has to carry the chat, and the stream, I suppose, because, like, you know. And then, yeah, obviously, I would like to stream every day leading up to this event, and obviously leading into the new chapter, and then I'll stream, you know, first day or two of the new chapter. But we'll see. I say things and then they don't happen. So we'll see. Anyway. Try your best. You try your damn best, you can't. He's shooting and you don't have jack shit. I like to think that I'm successfully rage baiting and you're like really fucking like pressed at this point. I just find movement, you know what I mean? I run around and I find movement, and then I leave. I just walk into the house, I find some shockwaves, and then I'm out. Just like I'm out with this stream. Peace. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for watching the stream. Oh, fuck. I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully.